Oh. What's up, y'all? Okay, so I apologize for saying this was supposed to be at 10:30. We looked at the clock wrong, and we meant 11:30, but wrapped up my workout fast, and so here we are at 11:15. So I'm thankful that y'all are here once again to join us for some quarantine workout tips. Bobo sends his love and wants y'all to see we're training him to be in the circus.
Oh.
So while his moms aren't making a lot of money, he could maybe become Instagram famous. So y'all put the word out.
Yes. Cha-ching. Hi, Rochelle.
We also watched I'm going to get on the topic, but we watched the Rescue Dog Show last night.
Oh,
it was on Hallmark.
Good.
So thought that was really cute. It was a replay, of course. But what we're going to do today is talk about stability ball, okay? Also known as a Swiss ball. This is a very common piece of equipment that people usually have at home. So I figured, well, actually it was Shannon's idea. Figured we would talk about some stuff that y'all can do with it. So
Rochelle said clocks. I don't even know what day it is. I'm like, right.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Like I can't believe it's 11:15. I had to just look at the clock to make sure. Anyway, here's one exercise y'all could do. It's not really an exercise, but for those of y'all that are doing a lot of work from home, y'all can use your ball as a chair. So, really important with this, as well as like any exercises that you do seated on the ball, that you want to make sure that your hips are slightly higher than your knees, just so we keep you from getting into an hip impingement kind of situation. So, this is a 55 centimeter ball. It's a 65. 55 would probably work for me as well, but this is a little squishy. So you can see how I'm still able to sit with my hips a little bit higher than my knees. I also have a ginormous 75 centimeter ball that Steph gave me. So that's...
Yeah. Show us what it shouldn't look like if you're just using it as a chair. Like...
It shouldn't look like...
Like, yeah.
But, okay, so if you just imagine, like... And I don't have a smaller ball, but if you just imagine that... in general, with your chair situation, if y'all are sitting in a chair that puts you in a position where, where your hips are lower than your knees. Like if I were to sit like this for a while and then go to stand up, I would have some back issues going on. Because it just puts this hip it's just not a good configuration for this, hip structure and all that. So you want to be, whatever size ball you have, you want to make sure that you fill it up, to a point where you're not. So if you just imagine that I was sinking way down into this ball, that would be,
right.
Yeah. But yeah, good posture. So the cool thing about sitting on a ball is that it makes you kind of like have to use a lot of this good stabilizing stuff a little bit more. So in turn, your posture should kind of wake up a little bit. Because
Wendy said, and I cannot lie. Sorry.
Boom. Yeah, right when I started typing it, I was like, are people going to get offended if I call it I like big balls? We need some humor right now. But yeah, so, just good alignment. The ball is nifty because it's a constantly kind of low level of shifting surface kind of thing going on here. So it's kind of, waking up a lot of stuff that could be dormant, so to speak, when just sitting in a regular chair.
Yeah, so you could just
cool.
sit in that and watch the afternoon. Watch
so
Wolf Blitzer.
Right, if you're going to be watching your CNN, like we have on all day long. Yeah. So that's one simple thing right off the bat right there. But what I want to do is show you all some exercise type stuff. So like I said, if you're sitting you can sit on the ball to do any sort of upper body stuff. Way back in the day, we used to have people, I don't even know if I could do it.
Oh,
back in the wobbly surface era, the 2005-ish, we would have people kneel on the ball and do shit, which, dumb. That's all making a comeback, and it's...
Don't do it.
Yeah, dumb. So what I'm going to show y'all is, I'm going to kick this off with a sequence called the triple threat, which I've been using with clients since the mid-2000s. I know I've mentioned him before, but Juan Carlos Santana, also known as JC Santana, I picked this up from him. So one of those things where I was an avid consumer of his DVDs and books back in the day. So this sequence is actually, he always claimed that this helped him bulletproof his athletes as far as hamstrings and posterior chain. So he was able to note a reduced injury risk of like hamstring, like they had less hamstring pulls and stuff like that. So what we're gonna do here, it's essentially 3 similar movements, all done laying on your back, working the backside. So to kick it off, we're gonna start off with a bent knee hip extension. So it's important to note that my feet aren't turned out, okay? I've got a slight bend in my knees. Yes, it's gonna feel like you're gonna push the ball away from you, but I promise it's gonna stay in place. But we're not in a position here. You wanna kind of walk the ball out so that there's a slight bend in your knees and then your feet are planted on the ball. So from here, we wanna make sure that you're not arching your low back. We wanna get neutral with the hips and pelvis. Hips and pelvis, the pelvis. That's redundant. And then as far as like upper body position goes, we could go theoretically here, which is going to be the most stable position. I actually prefer going here and driving the upper arms into the ground. I feel like it helps create a little bit more tension. But then if you wanted to make things a little bit more challenging, you can move your hands to here where you don't have any sort of contact with the arms. So that would make it more of a challenge stability-wise. But what we're going to do is we are going to bring the hips up and then come back down. Okay? So we're getting some good, it's hip extension, so we're getting the glute max really going. We're also getting hamstrings. You might feel calves a little bit too, because the nifty thing about what's called the back line or the posterior chain, if you're into fascia and all that nerdiness, like you're actually connected from the bottom of your foot all the way up the back of your leg through here to your eyebrows. It shares a common fascial chain. So all of these muscles actually work together to perform functional movements. So if you feel it in your calves, that's okay, because it's part of the crew. So that's the first movement. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna do anywhere, I would suggest, from probably 5 to 10 reps of each of the 3 back to back. So after doing the bent knee, you're going to walk the ball in, and we're gonna put the heels on top. So again, we're not turning the feet out, okay? We're not pointing the feet either. We're staying dorsiflex, which means you're pulling your toes to your shins. So we're gonna do a leg curl. So again, we wanna make sure pelvis stays neutral. We're gonna roll the ball towards the hips, and then back out.
Your hips are staying up.
Yeah, hips are staying up. You don't want to drop your hips.
Yeah, you're like a straight line.
Exactly, and the ball's not going side to side on any of these, so that's important. The more you could do these with like kind of shitty technique, for lack of a better word, where the ball's kind of rolling out of control, and you could still do reps, but what's the point? So the more that you try to minimize that lateral movement of the ball, it really makes things hurt more. So that's a good. If things hurt more, that's usually a good sign. So the third of the sequence is going to be same setup as the leg curls, but we're going to do a straight leg hip extension and just go here. Okay. So to recap it, y'all would do 5 to 10 reps of bent knee, 5 to 10 reps of leg curls, and then 5 to 10 reps of straight leg hip extension, back to back. So that's the triple threat.
And it's
all of my clients love to
doozy.
hate that one. It's a really good one. So that's core and glutes, hamstrings, like backside in general. Really, really good one that most people can do. And again, start with low reps and build up. So let's talk about core a little bit more. So if you're very good at planking on the ground, okay, like you can hold a plank for, I would say, at least 30 to 40 seconds. And side note on that, if you can hold a plank for longer than a minute, you need to be doing something more challenging. Like there's no point in planking, like it's boring, first off. But I'm not a fan of holding planks for really longer than 30 to 40 seconds.
Can you show us just like a floor plank?
Yeah. Okay, so let's recap a floor plank.
Because I feel like this is something really simple that some people just don't.
Okay, and so look, here's the thing. You're going to see numerous ways to do like all sorts of exercises. And as an everyday person, as in somebody that's not a fitness professional, I can understand how it can be really confusing, like with the sheer volume of information that's out there. And you're like, well, this person does it this way, but she does it this way. So like, I've got my own preferred way of doing things, and it's based on just, in the trenches work with clients, as well as, my knowledge base, and whatnot. But on a plank, so the analogy I use a lot in here when we do a lot of stuff is everything's on train tracks. So I like that because it kind of keeps you thinking about things running parallel with the body. So with a plank, essentially, we're going to be here. So elbows are underneath shoulders. I like to take the arms out this way, and I like to actually grip the floor with the hands, like I've said on I think, push-ups, like anything where y'all have the opportunity. Same thing with the feet, to use that surface of the hand and the foot. It's important. So on the plank, you'll see people go here. Okay?
Rochelle said so many people F up a regular prone
They
plank.
do. It's butchered. It's so easy to butcher it.
Yeah, it's sad.
So a few key pointers that I like is get everything aligned on train tracks. Okay, so my feet are shoulder width apart, my elbows are shoulder width apart, my forearms are shoulder width apart, and I'm gripping the floor. I forgot to take off my snatch tape. Gripping the floor with my hands. So I'm pushing away from the ground. I'm not just, you can sit here and it can look relatively okay if you I'm relaxed.
Yeah.
Versus being engaged. So when I'm engaging, I'm pushing the floor away, but I'm also going like this to engage all this. So we're trying to create that tension that's originating through here, but utilizing as much of the body as possible. So holding that position, and then in addition, we want to think about never letting the shoulder blades pinch together. We want to protract the scapula, which means pushing the shoulder blades apart, which probably will be a little bit easier to see if I'm in a high plank, because you can go here.
Right.
This is actually an exercise. But pushing the shoulder blades apart is important because that's a good, solid, sound position for the shoulder region. Like if you throw a punch, you're protracting the shoulder blade. It moves this way. So you're never going to throw a punch and be like this, because we're talking like you could get an AC. You won't get all crazy, but so yeah, forearm plank as well as high plank, which is on the hands, you can do on the ball. Both are legit. So what I would suggest, and again, make sure that you're good at doing them on the ground first, because this is an unstable surface, and it's complete bullshit if a person can't do something sufficiently on a solid ground to have them do something on an unstable surface. Like I said a few minutes ago, the unstable surface stuff is making a comeback. I feel like it's 2005 again. Not that there's anything wrong with a lot of it, but it's being misused.
Yeah, just build up to it.
Yeah, so it's all about the intent behind what you're having someone do or what you're doing, and it's a kind of cost to benefit ratio. So is it giving you the best return on your investment of energy and time and what you're expending when you work out? So for planking on the forearms, what I suggest is start from in a kneeling position kind of on the ball instead of trying to get at it this way.
Yeah.
Start here and then you can kind of get yourself set. So we're going to get...
Oh, hi, George.
Oh, George. We're going to get on the ball here. Woo.
I was going to say, it's not as easy as it looks, and right now she's not making it look all that easy.
I'm shaking just doing that. So that would be your forearm plank. Same kind of starting position for going to high plank. So with the high plank, you don't want to have, so there's a lot of pressure that goes on the wrist because this is a soft surface and you're pushing down into it. So I would recommend kind of turning the hands outward, which is going to allow you to set your shoulders into external rotation, so that's a good thing in the first place. When you're in a high plank on the ground, that gripping the ground thing, you're thinking about, so I don't know if you can see how if I relax, I start shrugging, but then if I grip and rotate, so it's like I'm taking my elbows and doing it. So it's like you're screwing your hands into the ground. Important stuff, because it's just going to give you a better setup. So yeah, setting up, so I can protract my shoulder blades this way.
Yeah.
Again, if you start slumping, it's going to be harder to control the ball.
Right.
So it's like immediate feedback with the ball, waddling around. So with a plank and a high plank, you can do all sorts of fun stuff. Kicking it back to, again, the mid-2000s. We would do things with clients like And you can do it with either position, but writing your name with the ball.
Oh,
so
God.
like you can go cursive, and I'm writing an A, and then there's an R, A, H. So you can do that, or do the alphabet. So you can do that here too. Another thing is the glorious, what's called stir the pot.
Oh, God.
Okay, so I'll show two things, because I actually like to have people do more of an arc instead of circles. So I feel like an arc's easier to control. So you kind of arc it over.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You could also just roll it up and down, or you can stir the pot, which is making circles. And again, we can go here, you know, to do any of those. So those suckers right there.
Nifty.
So, yeah. So look, another option, and you've never seen this, we need to do this in group, is if you've got someone there handy to help you out, you can get in your plank. So again, you can go forearm plank or high plank. But essentially what you're going to do is have them kneel in front of you. So like, I'm here, so I would have someone facing me this way. And basically, they're going to tap on the ball to make it kind of shake a little bit.
Oh.
It's called perturbation. I can't say it. Perturbation is the word for that. But yeah, just light taps, and then you're constantly getting feedback from them as far as looking at their face, if you can tell they're grimacing, or if they're wobbling a lot. And if you can tell that they're able to stabilize, you can hit it harder. You know, you can bang the crap out of this thing. Like, so people like that. That's what I haven't done with people in a while. So yeah, so that's a nifty little drill too that you probably have never seen.
Sounds like a good spouse exercise
why
for
not?
everyone stuck at home.
Man,
Honey, let's do abs.
man, never will I ever train couples ever again in my. That doesn't end well.
Yeah, not a good thing.
Yeah, I had a
Anyway.
husband and wife
Yeah.
with the boxing mitts one time. I was like, okay, stop hitting. Like, she couldn't hold them. Yeah. Anyway. It is a great
George
way to
is
kind of take
clapping.
out some aggression if you want
Yes.
to. You know, so those are some plank options. Yeah, so
Good.
what do you think? I like just thinking on the fly when I do these, so
I feel like you have so many options with
yeah,
ball.
with just the planks and the leg curl things that I've shown. I mean, you can take the ball. So look, back in like 1997 or so, I actually got certified in resistable. If Dana's watching, she'll probably laugh because she probably did too. But we actually were taught how to teach a class, because this was like the hot thing back then. We were taught to teach a class where we, warm up. We started with just like bouncing on the ball. For the goofy chiropractor I worked for in Austin, he would bill out to patients to just have them do this, just sit and bounce.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I would have them go in the back, and I told because I was the whatever. We won't go on a soapbox there, but yeah. So I mean, just light bouncing. We're waking up kind of the nervous system a little bit here. For some people that are very deconditioned, this can be a big deal. You can do like lateral tilts and shifts and whatever. You can move the ball. But in addition to stuff like that, you can actually take the ball. This ball has, I think, like a pound or two of sand in it. So you can do stuff like the washing machine, which is actually really fun. If you have one of these and you can put water in it.
Oh yeah.
I had one, it busted, but we used to do what's called a washing machine, where you rip it, and then that the shaky stuff inside, you're having to resist, or you're having to stop the rotation this way and reverse it.
Right.
So that's kind of nifty. But yeah, the ball, you can do stuff like chops. You can rotate. This is taking it back to the 2000s. That kind of stuff. The cross. So, yeah.
All kinds of stuff.
All kinds of stuff. I'm worn out.
I know.
Let's show a few leg things. Just
Yeah.
because. I don't really do these with clients nowadays, but it's not that they're, the only reason being there's other stuff I like to do instead. But you can take the ball and place it against the wall. So you're going to take it, place it just above, your butt makes a shelf, right? Or at least mine does. Place it in that little groove of your low back. You're going to make sure you're not going to stand directly upright, because you can see I'm Daffy Duck if I do that. Walk your feet forward. And then from there, you can squat. So,
oh, yeah.
for those of you that think having your knees go past your toes when you squat is a bad thing, I politely disagree with you. It's not. We're meant to, woohoo! We're meant to squat. I mean, my knees are obviously going way over my toes, but for some people that have knee issues, that may not be the best thing. So this allows you to kind of set yourself up where we keep the knees over the ankle.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of neat. You can walk it back a little bit and adjust it as you're going, but that's a really simple one you can do for squats. You can also take the ball, and I might bust my ass. Bring this back here. You can do like a split squat.
Ew.
So this ball's probably a little bit too big for doing this for me, but we're working with what we have. So you get your back foot on the ball, sort of drop down. Woohoo! So you can do a split squat, right? You can even roll it in a little bit. I obviously haven't done these in a long time, but yeah, you get the idea.
Yeah.
Drop it down. Again, the ball's a little bit too big to do that. Another one I remember having people do, you would take the leg to the side and like go here.
Ooh.
You can even like draw it in. It's a throwback.
Right.
So that's like 15 years ago. But yeah, so those are a few leg things. Shoulder mobility and T-spine. So getting your upper back kind of happy. You can do a roll up the wall. So you can walk your hands. You press your chest. So we're opening up the chest and shoulders. And then just walk it back down. That's a good one. You can also do kind of a windshield wiper where you bring it across the body. We're kind of like opening up through here. Okay, so that's a good one because a lot of you, again, we're sitting a lot. Lats are tight on most people anyway. We open up that lat and all this good meaty stuff. So those are two good ones too. Whew. I'm worn out.
I know.
Yeah.
Hi, Brent.
I feel like that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
As with any of these videos, if y'all have ideas or comments or things you want to see, by all means, leave me a comment or message me, or text me if you know me that well. But also too, I can always shoot a second video on any of these topics that we're covering because my brain, all the brainstorm and whatnot. There's an endless variety of topics to cover. So hopefully the quarantine is over with sooner than later.
Oh God.
Because I plan on continuing to do these, but till then, hit me up.
Sweet. Good stuff.
All right, let's send them off with a Bobo.
Where's Bo?
Come here, mister.
Oh, doing nothing as usual.
Best in show for scruffiness.
Aw, best in scruff.
Best in scruff. Y'all have a great day.
Say bye.
He's been doing his walking. I want y'all to know. All right. Bye, y'all.